Hey guys, this is Master Sion here, and in today's video, I'll be ranking the top 30 Nintendo Switch games. These are the top best-selling Nintendo Switch games. They're like my favorites. I've played all of them for like a good amount of time, and I'll be ranking them. I think there's a lot of them you're gonna disagree, a lot of them you're gonna agree, and you know what? That's okay. I'm allowed to have my own opinions. Without further ado, let's start with Animal Crossing. Oh, Animal Crossing. This is probably going to be my most controversial take, but I did not really like Animal Crossing. I didn't really see the point of building up a town, building the whole thing up. There was like no real purpose to anything I was doing. Like in a different game, if I was adding stuff or building stuff, creating stuff, it was a purpose to fight an enemy, stuff like that. I'm more of like action adventure. This week is just build. And for that, that's why I'm probably gonna put it in like this is gonna be pretty controversial, but I'm probably gonna put it in like C tier. Obviously, the game for most people is definitely S tier. I think it deserves to be an S tier, but this is my personal opinion, not how good the game actually is. This is just like opinion. I think it definitely deserves S tier. I think it's a 10 out of 10 game. I can see why it's a 10 out of 10 game, but I do not personally like it. Next up, we have Mario Kart Home Circuit. Mario Kart Home Circuit. Oh, this game, if you don't, if you've never heard of it, is sort of like think of it like having like a bunch of RC cars, but like Mario Kart. So like the whole point is you get like four arches, which serve as like checkpoints and like a finish line, and you like spread them out all over. You can put it all over your house, and you sort of make like your own, I guess, Mario Kart racetrack. I think it's really good. There are some problems with it. First of all, the original, you could play with two cars at once, but you have to buy separately, and I don't think that's sort of ruins the whole point of it. But I think I think it's, in my opinion, I enjoyed it more than Animal Crossing, so I think I'm gonna put it in like B tier. Next, we got Pokemon Legends Arceus. This is by far my favorite Pokemon game of all time, and happens to be the least Pokemon game. Least Pokemon game, least Pokemon like Pokemon game. You actually do stuff. It's sort of like Breath of the Wild, but in Pokemon, and you get a lot of freedom. What I really like about it is that you get a lot of freedom to move and stuff like that. Um, it's like a game where you could actually get hit by a Pokemon's attack. Like I never understood that. Like if you play other Pokemon games, you just run into a Pokemon, you just get into a fight. But like this game, no, the Pokemon actually attack you, and you have to actually get away or fight it. And if another thing I liked about it is that if you lose all your Pokemon, you don't get taken back to a Pokemon Center. You have to run back to the Pokemon Center while trying to avoid getting hit by a Pokemon that just beat up all of your own. Which is why I think it's a very good game. I'm gonna put it in like A tier, probably like high A tier. Next, we got Pokemon Brilliant Diamond. Now, the original Pokemon Diamond was actually my first Pokemon game, my first mainline Pokemon game, and I've really enjoyed I really enjoyed it. The original Pokemon Diamond, it was pretty good for a DS game. However, the remake is honestly a bit disappointing. It's mostly a straightforward remake with very little features added. I would like if you would look at previous Pokemon games and remakes like Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, they're they're much more I get what's like the word for it? I guess they add a lot more stuff to it. They feel like almost like different games with the amount of extra content they added. They feel like, I guess, remix games. I guess they feel more of like a remix. This is just feels like more of like like, I don't know, just a remodeling of it. I don't know. I would prefer if they added more content to it. I think it was pretty disappointing. The graphics also aren't amazing for a game that's supposed to be a remake. I think I'm going to put it in D tier. I think it's a pretty good game in general, but as it being my first Pokemon game, the original Pokemon, as it the Pokemon Diamond being my original Pokemon game. I think it deserved better. Next we have Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. I think this game is pretty good. Some parts I didn't like about it. I think what I did not really like about it was it felt pretty short, even though it's supposed to be a remake of Pokemon. I guess Pokemon Yellow. It felt completely different. It just felt like there was no real story to it at all. I guess that's sort of what you get when you get like a remake. So I think I'm also going to put it in D tier. This is also probably going to be controversial. I think Pokemon the Diamond remake was better than this. Again, these are all great games. I just want to let you know these are all great games, but these are the 30 best games on the Switch. So even though if I put like a game in F tier, it's still like in the top. It's still like in the top 1% of Nintendo Switch games. So like if you see me getting like too aggressive with it, just know that these games, an F tier, an F tier in this tier list is like an eight, like an A tier on like if you would just compare to like old Nintendo Switch games. Next up, we have Pokemon Quest. I think it was extremely boring, but it was a free to play game, so I guess I'm gonna put it in an F tier. I think the reason why it's good is because it was free, but that's pretty much it. Just boring content. Next up, we have Pokemon Scarlet. Pokemon Scarlet, in my opinion, it felt like it sort of tried to mix what Legends Arceus did and like the traditional mainline games did. I don't think it did a good job, but since it's like a standalone unique experience, I think it was better than Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, and also a lot of people see I'm getting a little aggressive with the Pokemon game, so I think I'm gonna put it in like C tier. I think I've enjoyed it more than Animal Crossing. Next up, we got Pokemon Sword and Shield. Pokemon Sword and Shield were my first Nintendo Switch game on the Nintendo Switch. No surprises. I mean, it was the first. Actually, Let's Go Pikachu was the first, and Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee was the first. But like, I really like this was the first Pokemon game I actually finished, and it was. I honestly, for the first time playing it, I really enjoyed it. It was very nostalgic. I remember getting it I think back in 2019, which is a few months afterwards. Remember my friends were talking about it. I actually got the double bundle with this game, Pokemon Shield. And when you bought it together, it gave you like a special Dynamax code for this Dynamax tower in the wild area. And it took me like a few years to claim it. But I have some very fond memories of it. I remember playing through the story was very engaging. Compared to most other Pokemon games, it's really not that. It's really not so amazing. But since it was like my first game, I actually finished. I think I'm gonna put it in like high B tier. Next up, we got Pokemon Shield. I think it's the only reason why I think the Legendary is better. But since it's not my first Pokemon game, since it's not like I played Sword first, I think I'm gonna put it like together. But I think definitely Pokemon Sword, in my opinion, was just better. Next up, we have the Pokemon Sword and Shield expansion pass. They aren't that much different. I think there was quite a few things that were changed. I preferred the Sword one. I think it deserved like a B tier. Shield also is like a B tier. I think I really enjoyed it. If I had to choose, it was really two like DLCs together, like sold as one. The Isle of Armor and the Crown Tundra. I liked the Crown Tundra better, but the Isle of Armor was also pretty good. Next up, we have Pokemon Unite. This is, I think, like Pokemon Quest. I don't think it's really that good, but like I said, it's a free-to-play game. I think it's better than Pokemon Quest. I think it's better than Pokemon Quest, though. I think it's sort of like League of Legends, but like I think you should just play League of Legends if you're going to play a game like Pokemon Unite. Next up, we have Mario Kart 8. This game is amazing. It was one of my first games actually. It really was a really good it was a really good game. I really enjoyed it. I used to play it a lot with a lot of friends and family, and it was, in my opinion, it was very, very good. I mean, like tons of memories with it. I think it deserved like a S tier. Like it's like an S tier game. It's really, really good. I recommend it for literally anybody. The DLC I did not play. I don't think you even have to buy the DLC. This game has like literally infinite fun without it. I think it's very good. It's like Friends. It runs also very, very well. Next up is Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, Super Mario Galaxy. They're sold together at 3D All Stars. I decided I'm going to give them separately and then rate 3D All Stars like in the average. So Super Mario 64. Okay, this is going to be pretty controversial, but I don't know. I just found it quite boring. I would probably put it. I'd probably put it in like, yeah, like C tier. Super Mario Bros. Sunshine, I think was a lot better. I think I would put it in like C tier. And Pokemon Galaxy, I think was very, very good. I would probably put it, yeah, like here in B tier, like mid B tier. And then we have Pokemon Super Mario. We have sorry, my bad, Super Mario 3D All Stars, and that's going to go into S tier. Now you might want to know why I put it in S tier. You know, I'm actually going to put it in high S tier as a class of its own. Now you might want to know why I put it all the way up here when the games aren't that high. Well, the actual cartridge of the game is like selling for like crazy amount of money, like even used. Like when I bought the game for $60, I heard it was going away. Like so, I was like one of the last people to buy it before it was. Well, relatively, I mean, it sold millions of copies, but I mean, like, it was one of the last dates for me to buy it when I bought it. Um, it was only $60, and like now it's like crazy expensive. I had a friend approach me; he wanted to buy it off me for $400. I don't think it's actually worth that much. Maybe I'll pull it up, but like, man, just for the how much you could sell it for, like, man, you could sell it. You could probably sell like a new if you have a new copy stored away somewhere. You could probably sell it and buy yourself a Switch OLED. Like that's how much it's worth. Like just that alone, just the fact that my game is worth so much is putting it like an S tier. I don't think it's actually I don't think it's fair to put it in put it as a top game. So I'm gonna put it behind it just because I want there to actually be a good game in this class. But like as you know, like that's like literally the only reason. If not, I probably would have put it in like B tier in the back of B tier. But okay, I don't know what can you do. Next up, we have Super Smash Bros. Oh, I'm not good at reading. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. This was actually my first Nintendo Switch game. Pretty nostalgic about this one. It was very good. I enjoyed it. I soaked a lot of time out of it before I got more Nintendo Switch games. And that is why I think it deserves to be an A tier. Very good game. Not as good as Mario Kart. I think very good game nonetheless. Next up, we have Splatoon 2, and this I'm going to go ahead and put it right into F tier. I think it's actually higher than this. And you want to know why? Well, for the same, I think the game is like you could probably the game's like $60. Maybe it went down a bit, but like you should just buy Splatoon 3. Okay, don't bother buying Splatoon 2. Everyone's playing Splatoon 3. There's no point to playing Splatoon 2 now. This is 2024/2025. Okay, no one's playing Splatoon 2. Okay, it's meant to be an online shooter. The campaign was pretty good, but like there's no point. Funny story about this. When I got this game, very, very late. And Splatoon 3 was already announced, and I kept telling my entire family, don't buy me Splatoon 2, wait until Splatoon 3 comes. And one day, I think I was in the airport in like a different country, and they my 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 one of my family members went and got me Splatoon 2, and it was in a different country. It was for like $70 in that country. They thought it was just because it was duty free, it was cheap. Guys, just because something is in duty free doesn't make it cheap, especially when it's in a different country. Okay? They got me Splatoon 2 when 3 was coming out, I think like in 2 months later. Okay? I can't believe it. I just can't believe they did that. It was like I was pretty pissed. Okay, next up, we have a really, really good game. This is probably my favorite game, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. This was very, very good. I really enjoyed it. I think almost pretty much everybody would enjoy this game. The thing is, I think it's like a little bit, I don't want to say it's complicated but like some people might have issues with like the controls and stuff. It doesn't, so I think it's very, very good. I think I'm gonna put it in like S tier. Like I think it's literally my favorite game of all time. I think it's amazing. You should totally play it. It like needs no explanation. The expansion pass of Breath of the Wild, I would also put into S tier, but I don't think it feels right into putting a DLC into S tier, so I'm just gonna put it in as high A tier. Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom just dropped. I played it. I didn't like it that much. I think it's a pretty good game, pretty solid game. I think I'm gonna put it in. I think like high C tier. High C tier, yeah. Then we got The Legends of Zelda: Link's Awakening. I'm gonna put that in. It was a pretty good game. I it like I didn't really enjoy it either that much, but like it was a good game. I'm very bad at expressing how much I like these games. Like you might say I don't like it, and then I put it up in like B tier, and then I say I like a game, and then I put it like in D tier, like C tier, and you guys are confused. I'm just bad at expressing it. But like I think it was good, not too good. I don't know. Next is Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. This game I really, really like. I think it's the only game that can actually be my favorite, that can actually compare to Breath of the Wild, maybe because it's literally very similar, literally pretty much extremely similar. It's just a sequel. Um, since Breath of the Wild came before it, and it's like a lot more nostalgia, I'm gonna put Breath of the Wild ahead. But Tears of the Kingdom is like, if I had to put Breath of the Wild as a scale of 1, Tears of the Kingdom would be like 0.99. Like that's how close they are and how much I enjoyed them. Next up is a game that I did not play on Switch, but I played a ton on the Wii U. Does anybody had a Wii U? Like I know very little people had it. I thought everyone had it. I don't know, let me know in the comments. But like I played a ton of that game, and I don't think it's fair for me just to skip over it just because it didn't play on the Switch version. And since it's literally the same thing, I think I'm just going to pretend like I played it on the Switch. So Super Mario 3D World, I've really enjoyed it. It's probably one of my favorite Mario games. I've played quite a bit of them. Um, I would put it in. I would probably put it in A tier. Yeah, like behind Super Smash Bros. Probably. Next up, we have Hyrule Warriors. Hyrule Warriors, the original Hyrule Warriors, was actually a pretty good game. I enjoyed it. It was my first Warriors game. It was a good game. The story was okay. I really liked the plot twist of of like not the plot twist. Like the first of all, the plot was like amazing. How Ganon was like split into four. Like it's like one of the only games I actually remember the story, and like he was sealed away in different parts, and you have to find them, and then not you have to find them, and then so much. Then this new character Sia tries to open the chest to all four, and like what happens, and then like how it all ties in together. Like it's very nice. Um, I think it's a pretty good Warriors game. I think I'm going to put it in like, nah, not D tier, right? I don't know. My mouse is not working. Sorry about that. I'm gonna put it in. I'm gonna put it in like high B tier. I don't want to put it in A tier because A tier has like Super Mario 3D World, Legends Arceus, and Super Smash Bros. It's not that good, but I think it's quite ahead of these games or DLCs. Next up, we have Hyrule Warriors. Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. This game is quite a bit better than the original. The only for the one reason that it is pretty much Breath of the Wild like look. and like you can visit like areas in Breath of the Wild. A lot of the areas you can visit in Hyrule Warriors, and it looks really really cool. Like if you see an area in Breath of the Wild, like a ruins, that's like for example Hyrule Castle, like they made it like how it looked like before the calamity. I mean that's the whole point of the story. Story was okay. The characters in combat was pretty good. I think I'm gonna put that in. I think I'm gonna put that in A tier. I don't think it's better than Super Mario 3D World. And next up is Fortnite on the Nintendo Switch, specifically on the Nintendo Switch. Runs pretty good. I think it's. I don't really care too much about it. Fortnite. I think it's just an addictive game in general. It's not like a good game I enjoy. It's like a game where I get like. I guess I get my dopamine. I think I'm gonna put it in B tier. I think I'll put it like here, like mid B tier. Next up we have Minecraft for the Nintendo Switch. So Minecraft on Nintendo Switch does not run too well. I mean, it's playable. I've had quite some fun. I don't know why I keep dropping it. I don't want to put it there. Well, where would I put it? It's quite difficult. I think it's definitely better than Fortnite. I think I'll put it here. I don't want to put it in like A or S tier because it's not really a Switch exclusive. You can get it in a lot of places, like probably for cheaper, better. I'd probably put it in B tier, not because it's a bad game. It's just there's much better platforms to play on. I think it's better than the mobile version though. But then again, it's a lot more expensive than the mobile version. The mobile version was like $5-6. And finally, we have Monster Hunter Rise. I actually finished playing this game a couple months ago, even though it came out like before COVID. Monster Hunter Rise is it has gameplay wise, it's amazing, but there's like literally almost no story. The only story is kill a powerful monster. There's no lore to that monster. It's just strong monster, kill strong monster, and that's pretty much it. If you just like gameplay, and the gameplay is like super super good, I would probably put it in like S tier if you cared about gameplay. But just for the the fact that there's literally no story in it, I'm gonna put it in like probably put it in like I don't think it's worse than Echoes of Wisdom. No, it is. I think Echoes of Wisdom is better. And I think that's it. Let's just quickly go over it. I might have changed my mind in the middle for some of these games. Let's see, Breath of the Wild on top, Tears of the Kingdom second, Mario Kart third, fourth. I think that's it. Except I probably would put. I don't think I'm gonna put Echoes of Wisdom in low B tier. And guys, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Click subscribe. See you in the next one.